Hi, I'm Stardog the Red with
T2
from Puget Rock and KGRG1, your classical alternative, and I'm with the band Homewreckr. And I'm just going to pass the phone around because we're doing this interview out back on a phone they just played. And give us all your names and your duties in the band.
My name's Kevin. I'm the lead singer.
This is Alex. I'm the guitarist.
I'm Brett, drums, general cool guy.
I'm Dave, bass.
Okay, so now when I found your band, which was less than a week ago, and I looked everything up and decided I was going like, okay, that would be a good time to do my show. So I started doing the show prep, and I'm like, Homewreckr. Is that a typo?
No.
Now, if you look on your screens right now, you'll see it. There is no E between the K and R in Homewreckr at the end. And I was told it was because every letter costs money, and this is a band on a budget. Is that right?
Straight up.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, you always have to buy a vowel.
Yes. Oh,
we just
no! Get the out of my band.
It's the music business. There's always yet the vowels cost the most.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Those singers who just sing, oh, they're paying for every one of those long vowels, every second of it.
Absolutely.
That's how you know it's a rich band.
Cha-ching,
Punk bands, they don't do that.
They don't do that.
They don't
that's
have
why
a
they're
whole lot
poor.
of money.
Yeah.
They sing really quick vowels.
Yeah.
You got to buy the vowel. So you have a show coming up at the 4th Ave Tavern in
Yes, we
Olympia on the 26th.
On
That
the
might be a
26th.
Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
Tuesday. I'm not sure. I don't have my calendar in front of me.
I'm pretty sure it's a Saturday, actually.
Saturday.
Yeah.
definitely
Okay.
a day.
It is a day.
It's a day.
It is a day.
It's a day that ends in
It is.
Y.
Yes. Definitely.
And you guys are a family band, and we were talking about that a little bit earlier after the show.
In a manner of speaking,
In
yes,
a manner
we
of
are.
speaking,
Yeah.
and I'll hand it off to you.
Yeah, we are. Well, every band is a family, I think, to one degree or another. But there's a little more literal truth to that for us than for others. Alex, our guitar player, is my son. He's been playing with this band for 3 years now. He's done a lot of great writing for us. He's an awesome player, and it's my privilege to share a stage with him at this point. Brett and Dave both have a long history with the band and with all of us. So it's always a family situation.
Well, the thing that was interesting with the whole family band aspect was that when Homewreckr as a band first started up, it was actually just a cover band that was happening in Lewiston, and they wanted to just, do more, hard rock, heavy metal kind of stuff rather than, a bunch of people going around playing 60s and 70s rock. And because of that, my dad went to go and audition for that band because he saw a thing on Craigslist or whatever where he found the ad where some of the original members had posted up like, hey, we want to do this. And I went along with him because I figured it would be fun to go see what was up. And I've known everyone in this band, Brett and Dave, since the original incarnation of the cover band, and I was like 13 at the time. So all of the band members have been involved in my life, and there's that whole, friends and good family friends become family eventually. So when the band needed a guitarist and they asked me if I'd be willing to do it, well, not only was it really cool that I got to play on stage with my actual, biological dad, but at the same time it was really cool to go and share a stage with other people whose, opinions and who had, taught me a lot over the course of me growing up, which was also really cool, and was that kind of also family band aspect. So in more ways than one, like Kevin said, or Dad said.
Before you were the guitarist, right?
Yes, it was.
True story.
Yeah.
Me and him were
Handed it down to them.
Yeah.
We changed things up a lot.
Yeah, Dave's the bass player and I'm the drummer, but when this band started off, we were the two guitar players.
And when you say cover band, that's because you guys were a cover band before you were Homewreckr.
Yes.
Yes. We
Or were you
actually
Homewreckr,
played,
the cover band?
We
and
were
then-
Homewreckr. We were Homewreckr as a cover band. We kept the name when we decided to change over to Originals, just because we had actually built a decent following in our local area. A lot of people who really enjoyed what we did, and even when we were doing cover tunes, I think we always brought our own energy and our own influences to it. And I think anybody does that.
I've been
And
playing in cover bands and bar bands for 25 years, and this was the first band that people came out to, and they weren't there to get drunk and go dancing. It was more like a show. People came out and sat in their chairs and watched us as if they were going to a show.
Yeah.
So there was something different about this from the beginning.
yeah.
So then, and people would constantly ask us on that note, they'd be like, oh man, you guys, you really put a lot of heart and energy into it, and you put yourselves out there and you thrash around on stage. Why are you doing covers? And for the longest time, I don't know, because we were doing covers. We didn't really have a good answer. And so after a while, there was just a change in the way the band was going. There was a lineup change from some previous member had left and another member came in.
Dave
on
joined
bass.
up on bass, and
right
we
about
just
that
changed
time,
our focus.
And right about that time, I talked to Brett and Kevin, and I was like, as much as the covers are fun to do, I've got these songs that I've been writing. I think they're pretty good. I'd like to start doing that. I want to make a go of that aspect, because I feel like as a cover band, we've gone about reasonably about as far as we can go with being a cover band.
You have bigger dreams.
Yeah. or a bigger ego. Take whichever.
We'll say dreams. We'll say dreams.
Let's call it dreams. Call
It's
it
code
dreams.
for ego.
Once you're like Aerosmith and charging $300 a ticket for your next farewell tour, then it can be ego.
We hadn't made $300
Farewell
since
to-
the band started.
It was like the Kiss Farewell 1996 tour. They weren't saying farewell, they're just saying farewell to 1996.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Ozzy did No More Tours, and that was like 93. No More Tears, No More Tours.
And I'm pretty sure I just saw Ozzy in about 2006-ish, so
Yeah.
guess that didn't work out so well for him. So how'd you guys come up with Homewreckr as the name?
Yeah.
Brett?
Which one of you has that story?
Well,
Or multiple
We
of
were-
you have that story?
I was sitting
The
around
theme?
with the first drummer, and we're going over different names that would be cool for a band. And there's so many names that just are just not fun and cool. And he just kind of made a joke. It's like the whole thing's been a homewrecker. I'm like, that's it. I mean, you're absolutely right. It's got some balls. It's also just kind of catchy, and yep.
So we always
was a
like
good
to
name.
we like to joke about it that I mean, I think they were both saying that they'd lost relationships to music before.
Hell, I
Well,
had.
Exactly.
I
And
met
so-
my ex-wife at a show and basically divorced her over a different one. So.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well, that's
exactly.
the same thing for me. I actually had a girlfriend before they asked me if I'd be willing to join the band. I was like, yeah, sure. But because, there was a lot of material and they were like, okay, here are these songs, learn them in this many weeks, go do that. And I disappeared in my bedroom for that amount of time and then just came out knowing the material. We were playing every weekend, traveling a ton. And, sorry, I'm not sure if I can curse.
I can edit it out.
Okay, cool. Anyway, traveling a bunch. We were traveling a bunch, and because of that, I didn't get to see her that often. And she got really, really annoyed with me, and eventually we broke up because of the fact that, she was like, okay, you gotta choose. It's me or the band. I was like, okay, you, my girlfriend that I've been with for 3 years, or the band that represents a step in the dream that I've been pursuing since I was 12.
She said,
I wonder.
get wrecked.
The fact is, Alex dodged a bullet with that chick anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another story for a different
That's
edition.
another story.
But I feel like everyone, particularly who's involved in music and, appreciate that sentiment. It's like there's a lot of giving involved with it. And it's totally worth it.
But I
more
think
often
that's
than
not just in music. Anybody that actually truly wants to follow whatever their dream is,
Yeah.
fully
Yeah.
understand. Be it sports, be it music, be it art,
Yeah.
be it whatever. When
So-
they dedicate
yeah.
their life towards
It
something,
can be,
it takes.
it can be hard to, yeah.
So the idea on Homewreckr is not so much the idea of the stereotypical concept of a girl who is a homewrecker, more the aspect that, like pursuing your passions and like the band is a homewrecker in and of
Music
itself
is
in
the
that way.
homewrecker.
And that's the bit on that one, which is I enjoy that.
And
that
to
makes
get
me smile.
wrecked is to follow your dreams.
And to get wrecked is to follow your
That's our
dreams.
slogan, man.
Yeah, I like it.
The next T-shirt.
Next t-shirt.
Get wrecked, follow your dreams.
Yes. And you can have that in either order. It just works. Follow your
like
dreams,
that.
get
I'll
wrecked.
hold it.
Oh. It's all good.
So, March on birthday, 2-day marathon.
So
Oh,
March was when you guys were in the
Yep.
studio
Yes.
recording,
Yep.
and a birdie
Yeah.
told me that it was your birthday
It
when
was.
that happened.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about it. They're like, man, you're turning 20? Big deal. What are you going to do for your 20th birthday? I was like, I'm going to go sit in a room and play guitar for 5 hours straight and do that.
And that 5 hours turned into probably closer to 13 hours, I was told, each day.
it went-
Because it was like
it
23 hours over 2 days or
It
something.
went.
Yeah,
it
it
was.
went
It was a
long.
marathon. We really. We went into Amplified Wax Studios in Spokane with Jimmy Hill, who's the engineer and the owner of Amplified Wax, and he's a really great guy. Got into engineering from recording his own band in his basement. Eventually moved to a more proper studio. He's actually moving to an even larger studio now in downtown Spokane. Great guy to work with. And when we first talked to him, we had these songs that we wanted to record and felt that they were really good, and we wanted to do a really good job with them. And we'd heard his work with other bands. A band that played today, actually, Beyond Today, recorded their first EP, and I really liked the sound of it. So when I spoke to him, I said, here we are. This is what our budget is. How much can we realistically get done? And I know we've got 5, maybe 6 songs that we might be able to do. And he said, realistically, 2 songs in a day's worth of recording is really ambitious. And I was like, well, I'll tell you what, let's just book the weekend and see what we get. The thing that really set this whole thing off, because if you look at the track list right here, you'll see that there are 5 different titles on that album. We went in intending
On
to
that
do
EP.
4 on that EP. And
I was like, you don't know how to count.
we went in
I'm not
intending
holding
to
the
do,
EP though.
Yeah. There are 8 tracks, but there's some alternate versions and some extended mixes in there.
Oh,
that we
yeah,
put
okay.
on. So
Yeah.
2
radio edits and one extended mix.
and 1 extended.
I
mix.
appreciate the radio edits.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Everybody appreciates the radio edits. That way you don't have to slide down a fader when we curse.
I went in and edited like you before I aired it, and there was one that
There
I
is
caught.
one.
Just one.
There is
Oh,
one.
I got it.
There is one.
There is one.
Don't worry. That's the thing that was great. Is there were only two. There were only 2 things. On a side note, there were only 2 things that actually made that whole EP worth the warning sticker. And
The
that was
wonderful parental
one-
advisory sticker that everybody knows and loves.
Only
that backfired. That tells kids. I remember that telling kids. That's the album we want.
That's
Yeah,
the one
that's
we
the-
want.
that's
Exactly.
the one. Take
It's like,
that,
whenever there's, it's like
Timbercore.
whenever there's a video game that's labeled mature, you want that one.
I
It's
want that
mature.
one.
But there are only 2 things in there that make it worth that. There is the curse word that you found there, and then also Kevin, when he was redoing the lyrics for the song "Too Hot," made like the dirtiest lyric that I have heard outside of a Prince song, anyway.
You must not have listened to much 80s rap.
No, I must not.
To
have.
Live Crew and stuff like that.
So that was
I
the fun
enjoy
bit
it.
there.
Thank you very much.
But the thing that was cool is that with the marathon on that, again, to Jimmy's credit over there, he was really willing to go the extra mile on that because we went in, he was like, okay, we got these blocks of time. And we went in and Brett really set the pace. He was like, okay, play the drums. And he came in and he just tore through them. Like a take or 2 on the drum parts. And they were, if they weren't flawless the first time through, they were the second time through.
Yeah.
And then right after he was done with the 4 songs, we were like, okay, well, there's this other 5th song that we were thinking we might be able to have time to do. And I talked to Jimmy about it. I was like, there's a 5th song we had an idea for. I've got a pre-pro for it. Would you like to upload that? He was like, rather than the pre-pro, do you know the tempo? I was like, yeah. So he typed it into his computer, and then he had me just record direct into his computer. He just threw some distortion on it. And then we had that with a click play into Brett's ear, and he just drummed the whole song and did that 5th one. And then Dave came on, he did bass lines, and he tore through the 5 songs in like 4 hours or something ungodly like that. And everyone basically, particularly with creating the EP, it was a lot of people coming in and bringing their A game and, realizing, okay, we've got this much time, which means I need to be perfect and flawless as much as possible anyway. And then that first day very much typified that. And then naturally, the guitarist and the vocalist came in the next day to do the recording. We messed that whole thing up. And I had to do a bunch of different takes. And then he had to do a bunch of different takes.
Yeah, these guys were like, oh, you guys, we're out of here. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So the thing that was great, I'll just start beeping. I'll interpret it. Anyway, so the thing that was
Come out
great
sounding
was
like
that we,
R2-D2.
yeah, it'll be awesome. And then we came in and we did our takes, and like I said, he deserves a ton of credit because he was willing to go, okay, well, you've gotten done with the vocal tracks, and he was really key on that. He was like, make sure the guitar parts and the vocal tracks, make sure they are quality and as good as you want them to be before we move on to the next thing. Because nothing's worse than having something recorded and permanent and then regretting it. And then finally the solos were there and we were over our time limit, and he was like, dude, your songs need solos. I've heard the solos on the pre-productions, just record them. And so we stayed and we did the takes and we got those all dialed in last, and then thanked him and he sent us on our way, and a little while later we had the EP. It was a really fun experience. As much as it was a marathon and a bit of a slog, it was still really super awesome.
Yeah, it was a really good weekend.
It was super
It was a good
fun.
weekend.
And he's just such a good guy.
And I think that goes just in general, if you come in with a better attitude, people are more willing to, solos need to happen.
Yeah.
You just make the
And some good weed.
Make the solos happen.
So you
good attitude.
Thank you, Washington.
So you recorded, right? So you recorded the EP in 2 days and a weekend, two,
Yep.
3 days. How long did it take? There's 5 songs here. How long did it take to write the songs? Like, what was that process like?
That process was actually it's a little
longer.
warped. It's a little warped because basically when Homewreckr, the cover band, was going, I had been getting tired of doing covers, so I was like, well, I should start writing original material just because I want to eventually start doing that. And then I brought them to the guys. I was like, okay, I've got these 3 songs that are ready to go. And I just brought those up one at a time, and everyone put in their own pieces and parts, and it was awesome. And they, with every new person's influence that they brought to each song that I had, it made it just slightly better, just because there's only so much that one songwriter can do before you're too close to the project and you can't bring anything newer to it. So I would bring these complete songs, verse, chorus, an idea for a bridge, and then out. And the other guys would be like, okay, well, let's attach some bells and whistles here, maybe do a pause, maybe do like this kind of thing. So it was really me bringing these pretty well solid ideas at first, and then them adding in their own stuff. Then with the song Too Hot, my girlfriend slipped up and she was like, oh, he's got this new song idea. And I had like a melody, one line, and some chords that I knew were in the key. And I just started like humming it and saying the one line that I had, and Kevin was like, okay, we need to go downstairs right now and just beat on that until it's done.
I hijacked that one from him rather brutally because I was like, oh, this. He had that line. You know, it's the song is called Too Hot. The line that he had was, she's too hot for heaven and too cold for hell. I was like, that's genius. That's brilliant. I can't believe that 20 people haven't done this before. That's great. And so I was like, no, we're going downstairs. We're working on this right now. And so we spent the next couple of weeks hammering that one out. So.
And then the other one that was also a bit of a bear was, the other three songs went through pretty much A-okay, but then the song Honesty went a really long way from where it had started with my original idea, because he had redone the verse melody and the scansion and made the words flow a little better than what I had. Originally mine was a little more flowy and long sustained notes. He brought it into that really syncopated, awesome verse. And so there was that influence, and then all of a sudden the issue that we had was the chorus that I wrote was a little lower than he was able to really put the kind of gusto that he has behind. It was a little bit below his range. So I started singing it, but then our vocalist, who doesn't do anything other than be a vocalist, was sitting there doing nothing. So we were like, okay, harmonies. And
it's like, I need attention, man!
But because of the
I thought that was when they went and stood in front of the drum kit and just stared at the drummer for a little bit while somebody else was doing something.
That's similar what happened when the solos happened. There's a story. Oh man. But the thing that was great was that was the other place where we just went to the basement and hammered away at it, because the chord structuring and the way the verse works and all of that, the way the chorus works, just, it was really hard to find a harmony to it that followed the line that I had already written that didn't sound horrible.
We went back to the drawing board probably 4 or 5 different times, you know,
over the course of like 4 or 5 hours.
Just like, you know, no, that doesn't work because of this, and this doesn't work because that. No, that song's that note's flat. That doesn't work here. And eventually, after hammering it out for hours, Alex was like, you know what? I think we're overcomplicating this. Let's pull it back. And we came up with those 2 counter melodies that play against each other that really
But as far
worked
as
out.
all these songs having our faces on them, that was November. So we started in November and we were playing middle of January.
Yeah, so really
we crunched it there too.
Well,
the arrangement and all of the
it wasn't really set yet.
This is Honesty?
It was like we've been together a couple times, checked it out, and then January rolls around and it was balls out and recorded them in March.
Yeah.
Because so really the process of bringing together this lineup of the band and this lineup of songs and finalizing everything and getting all of the arrangements together and ready to record, that really was, you know, a 3 to 4 month process. It really came together amazingly quickly.
Yeah. Well, that speaks to the band. That's what I was really excited about with this band, especially when we got Dave in on bass, because of the fact that I was actually talking to him about this last night, because we got here pretty late, and when I get tired, I get feels. So because of that, I was like, we were talking about this, and the thing that was really incredible about that iteration was we came in, and with most bands, there's a few rehearsals where just things aren't quite where they need to be, and it just doesn't quite get in the pocket and in the groove. And we got in, and just for some reason, he came in on the bass, and he started playing the parts that he had ideas in his head about, and just something about that, the alchemy there was perfect, and the chemistry worked out, and it just had this click almost immediately. And there was this sound that I was just like, okay, this works. And because of that, over the course of that 3 or 4 month period, everyone brought in their own flavor and their own persona to the song. You know, Dave's bass parts, that you can hear him through those, and the same with Brett and his drumming and everyone's pieces. It's not like I brought these songs and they're just my songs and everyone else is playing on them. I brought my song ideas and everyone else made it their song too. And that was really awesome. And it came together super quickly, again, because of that.
How are we doing on that?
Out of battery life.
My charger's in your thing.
Oh, sorry. You need to repeat all of that because
we shut it off.
I'm wondering how the recording quality's coming.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We got programs to make things work better.
Right on.
All right.
This is what computers are for.
So how does it feel to be the only dude in a band with no beard?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
I mean, you got like the shaggy beard going, but
It's just a.
He's got the most hair on top.
Shitstorm, you know?
It really
yes,
is.
he does have the longest hair, but it's all on the
But it
top of
doesn't
his
Yeah,
head.
I
He
do have to.
overcompensates in other directions.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's my flag it's my cross to bear, man. So be it. I'll make up for it just by headbanging. You know?
Right on.
Can't focus on the beard when you're headbanging, you know?
You get all the hair down in your face,
Well-
people don't notice.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, that
no
also-
one fucks you because you fuck with razors every morning, right here, excuse the throat. You're not even scared.
You got a razor arm right now.
Yeah. We were going to do a little small sacrifice, but they weren't into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I brought a goat all the way from Lewiston. Yes.
Yeah. Let the goat go, dude.
Set the
He's
goat
got plans
free.
for that goat later.
Yeah, I like goats. You got a problem with that?
I don't know if I do have a problem with that. in
Don't
this
judge
state.
me, man.
I don't know if that would be a heteronormative box. I think that's a specio-normative box at that point. Don't try and fit me into your specio-normative box, man. Anyway,
See?
we digress.
And you can learn things from rock interviews.
This will be in the
Giant
this will be on
SAT
the online
words,
full uncut
specio,
Yeah.
whatever he said.
interview.
Fun. Awesome.
Go Google
Made
it.
that up, man.
I did make that up.
Well, I did learn though from my dad, who is a doctor, that once you get to that doctorate level, you're allowed to make up words to describe whatever it is that you want to do.
Exactly.
I'll learn.
There you go, dude.
I'll learn from my dad, who was a clown. You can just fucking make up words.
But he had a doctorate in clowning, so.
Yes. Clown College. They actually have
You
that.
see, and
Steve-O.
I'll tell you.
It's online now.
yeah, well, the issue is that I've got
Dr.
neither
Rock,
of those.
so.
I don't have a doctorate. Dr. Rock, so. That was actually one that was awesome because I've been playing in the band. I'm 20, obviously. And I've been playing in the
Obviously?
band for 3.
It's not that
Obviously.
obvious.
I said I was 20. It's
Yeah,
obvious.
you had said it before. That's
I was 17 when I joined the band, and one of the first shows we played, I actually met my current girlfriend, and I didn't look it because I tried really, really hard to look older than I was because, you know, of course, when you're in Washington, it's actually illegal to play in a bar if you're not 18. So I tried really hard not to look like I was 18, which is
I
why
still
I
have
keep
that
calling,
problem.
which is why I keep calling my dad Kevin, because I figured it might break that illusion if I went around gigs going, Dad, which
Yeah.
kind of wouldn't help with the whole, like, looking older thing. And so...
Can I see your ID, please?
I didn't bring it on me. I'm not drinking tonight. Don't know why that happened.
He's always got a
Darn.
cover story.
I do. I'm good at that.
Designated
Anyway.
driver.
Yes, permanently. It's awesome. And whenever we play in bars now in our local town, because everyone knows how old I am and, you know, people know me, I get the really fun privilege of waiting outside until it's our time to play. So it'll be like a 4-band show. There'll be 2 bands, then we go, and then there's the last band. And I'll just be hanging outside like before sound
We
check.
place them in a corner and walk away.
So
Yeah,
you man the
that's right.
merch booth outside the venue.
That's the issue,
and-
is that the merch booth went
The merch
inside
booth goes
the booth.
inside, too.
So I don't even get to man the merch booth. I just get to hang outside and do nothing.
They did that to Lane Staley and Alice in Chains before. He was the youngest guy in the bar. He was born a year later than everybody else. So he had to wait outside, or else inside getting trashed.
Yeah.
He was waiting outside
Exactly.
the bar
Yeah.
until he went
Well, that
outside.
was the thing that was
It's a
great.
long and noble history, actually,
Yeah.
of hazing the kid.
I turned
Yeah.
21 in a bar, playing in a band, and up until it was a Chinese restaurant, up until midnight, the guy was like, "You can cut this out of your interview if it sounds racist." He's like, "You go outside every break till midnight," and I had to go outside till midnight.
Okay, actually, I've been to that place, and the guy does sound like that. Like I can attest to
That
the
is
to
how
the
he
truth of
talks,
that.
yeah.
I can attest to the truth of that. But the thing that was really funny about that, though, is because I came into this one bar in Orofino where we were playing, and my girlfriend now was checking IDs at the time. And I'll never forget, because I went in the back door, and she was like, "Hey, can I see your ID?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just with the band." She's like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And she didn't know I was 17, because I don't tell people I'm 17. And I
Because you're
straight
not,
up...
you're 20.
Well, he's
yeah.
20.
Well, I was 19. I was 19 at the time.
So it's a good thing you weren't telling people you were 17 then.
That's the thing, is
Yeah.
that she asked how old I was, and because I'm not a creep and thought, well, I might want to date this person eventually, so I should be honest with her. I just told her my standard story. I was like, "Oh, I'm 19," because, you know, old enough that no one questions whether or not I should be in a bar, young enough that no one tries and offers me a drink. And she totally bought it, and so she started coming to other shows and everything like that. And just
The rest
oh,
of us
man.
are looking at this like, this is going to at some point maybe be an issue.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, it's cool. It's all fine. We're just
So
friends.
she's 22, and I'm 17, and that was fun. That was a really fun obstacle to
Yeah,
get
we
past.
call that statutory rape, actually.
I'm not pressing charges.
But you can't now. Statute of limitations.
Anyway,
Well, there's evidence now.
there's yes,
It's recorded. Yeah.
it's been recorded.
That's right. We have a program to fix that too.
Oh, let's take us to the judge. He's that way somewhere. I think.
Yeah. Judge the Rock Show.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, we knew had a good time trying to come up with fun stories that would explain
Why we look so similar.
why we look similar and why we have the same last name. That wouldn't be like, well, he's my kid. That might again, can I see your ID?
Saying, it was the same milkman.
No, the best one that we came up with actually was, well, you see, my grandfather, when he was like about 75, married this like 25-year-old chick, and it was a huge family scandal. But anyway, Alex was the result, and I call him my baby uncle.
So that was a really good one.
So that was our best.
Who's your baby uncle? Yeah. So yeah, as much as it is a family band, I still really enjoy it because, I mean, how often do you get to be like, oh yeah, I'm in this band Homewreckr, we do, like rock and hard rock stuff, it's really nifty, and then people will listen to this stuff. And they'll be like, oh, that's really cool. Who's the vocalist? Like, I noticed the same last name. Is he your brother? Nah, that's my dad. How often do you get to say that?
Well, we were talking about that earlier today, too, from the bands that were outside in the front. There's some older people that were playing, and we're like, it'd be kind of cool to have the grandpa that's still in a rock band and doing cool stuff like that. But the grandma that is still dressing like a groupie,
She didn't quite make
not quite as cool.
See that, man.
Well, some people.
Yeah, no.
I want to know,
Yeah.
when you do turn 21 and now you can drink in a bar, you just played a show.
But he has to stay out of the bar until midnight.
Until midnight.
Until midnight. Have you ever been drunk around your dad, is what I'm saying?
Yes, actually. Yes.
Maybe we don't want to record
No,
this.
No.
Don't
This
self-incriminate
actually,
here.
Yes, he's a raging alcoholic.
no, this was actually, it was a really unfortunate thing. We were hanging out at my dad's place. There was like a house party going on. And it wasn't a kegger house party. It was my dad, some friends of theirs from like work and mutually around. So like a bunch of other people who were adults with actual careers came over to this party. But someone
As opposed to adults without actual careers, which, we know a lot of those too. But
hey,
we're not
everyone
naming
knows-
names.
Yeah,
It's okay.
anyway.
It's been a rough economy.
Yeah, but the point being is that there was this party going on, and someone brought one of those, God, what is it? A fishbowl. Someone brought a fishbowl, except they made a really, really good fishbowl, and they had cut it with diet 7-Up rather than regular 7-Up. And so I didn't know it was a fishbowl. I couldn't taste the alcohol in it. It was really, really tasty. And so I saw this random blue liquid in a little jug in the fridge. Not marked, it didn't look like alcohol. I tried it, didn't taste like alcohol.
Baja Blast.
So
sweet.
yeah, it was awesome. So I just
Doesn't
had
look like
some.
alcohol, doesn't taste like alcohol, must not
be
be
legal.
alcohol.
Yeah.
How come my legs don't work?
So here's the great thing though, is that the person who brought this totally played into it. I was like, oh man, that stuff's really good, right? And I was like, yeah, it's really tasty. They were like, yeah, go have some more. I made it myself. And so like 5 little glasses of that later, I realized that someone had played a really wicked joke on me. Because it didn't hit me. It didn't hit me like, I didn't slowly realize like, oh, I might be getting, maybe that was alcohol. No, just all at once at about like, after having taken like 5 glasses of this whatever drink, after having done that, I was like, I've made a horrible mistake.
No. That was the next morning when you're like, oh, I've made a horrible mistake.
Yeah, and so I basically went over, I was like, Dad, I'm gonna go lie down for a bit. And he was like, yeah, just go take the spare room. And I went and slept.
Well, at least,
But I
at
was
least you were
told-
at that point where you
I
could
would
still
tell you to go lay
sleep.
down outside.
Yeah.
I'm puking in my house.
Because if you get too bad, that's where you got to have the leg hanging out of the bed, touching the floor so that the world doesn't spin quite as
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, exactly.
On that
You
note,
got
though,
to keep an anchor.
So my dad apparently, Kevin came up to me the next day. He was like, just so you know, I was wondering if you had been hitting it pretty hard because you got very talkative. Like pretty much 2 glasses in, you started talking a lot. And I'm just saying, it's in my house, it's okay, it's a safe environment, no one's gonna mess with you. And then I explained it to him. He's like, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
But
you
keep that in
know what you
mind.
said.
Yes. So yeah, that's happened before.
These recordings will come out on the day of your wedding.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great.
We plan on being there.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Can I make a
Yeah.
toast with my phone?
Hey, you seem like
I invite you right now.
Yes.
If he gets married, you're invited.
Yes. You seem like reasonable enough, dudes. Come hang out. It'd be
Although
great.
we're really much more of a divorce party band than we are.
Divorce
Set
party.
free.
It's the Homewreckr, not the
Homewreckr
Homemaker.
is playing
Yeah.
divorce
Yes.
parties. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Of course.
There
I don't
should
know.
be more divorce parties.
I agree.
I feel it'd be more informal than a wedding.
No, just as formal, except it happens in reverse.
Way
Where
more
it starts with a
joyous.
ceremony. It's
Sorry,
like,
Dave,
do
you're
you
married. I believe you're married.
want to get this person out of your life forever?
Oh,
I
that's
do.
what you were saying.
Well, that
I
is
do.
kind of
And then
how
you just both
that is
walk
kind of
away.
how a divorce works.
Well-
The judge is like,
well, I
is this
imagine for every
irrevocably
divorce-
broken, can never be fixed? Yes.
I imagine
Is this
for the,
irrevocably broken, can't be fixed? Yes. All right, done.
Actually,
Thank you.
Then you get your
Huzzah!
sex life, and then
do you get to bring a glass? I mean, you know.
Well, I
Mazel
imagine,
tov.
realistically, I
That's
imagine for the divorce party, for every divorce, it could be 2 parties, not 1.
Yeah,
yes.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
All our friends go to that party, and all your friends go to this party.
Never has the bride's side and the groom's side been more significant than at your divorce party.
And you
As
know,
a matter of fact, we build walls between them with barbed wire just
Now
in
you
case
see where they
fights break
really
out.
stand.
you're going to see 2
Yeah.
of her friends at your party, one trying to sleep with you, one spying on you, and then you're going to notice 2 of your friends are missing at your party, probably over hers trying to do the same thing.
It's a way better way to get chicks, man.
Yeah.
It's way better.
The only thing that's important is that you make sure it's like the Blues Brothers playing that show, where there's just like a cage around the ceremony, where people start just chucking beer bottles at you, it just smashes and doesn't hurt you.
My dad played in a band in the 70s out in Missouri for a while, and he played some of those bars that had like chicken wire around.
Always good.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, we have. That's
So-
one we haven't knocked off the bucket list yet.
No, not quite. We haven't played behind chicken wire.
No.
You'll have to leave Washington, because Washington, I think, is too polite for stuff like that.
That's possible.
Maybe we'll
They're
go
like politely rude.
Maybe we'll go to Canada and just get horribly surprised. Like all of a sudden, like every stereotype about Canada that we think of is wrong, and like they're just chucking beer bottles and yeah, that'd
No.
be great. There's chicken wire on the stage.
I don't see that happening in Canada.
No, don't.
However polite we are, they're worse in Canada.
Much worse. They're much
Or
worse.
better,
polite.
I don't-
Yeah.
They're polite, but don't get them angry.
No, there's a point at which like someone's being too polite, you're just getting put off. You're like, okay, you're being too nice. Like something's up. You're going to kill me later, aren't you? Yeah. There's a point
From
at
a
which there's too
distance,
much.
and I'll feel very bad about it after.
Feel very horrible about it, eh?
Yeah, just sorry.
I'm so sorry.
So, about the bullet in your head there.
Hey, Dad, what was that? Drink your beer, eh?
Oh, that's great.
So I
Oh,
see
man.
in your liner notes the name Travis Meeks here. Is that the Travis Meeks from Days of the New?
No, it is
No,
not.
okay.
Actually,
Although we did play with Days of the New.
Oh yeah.
Of course, they're called Tantric
they were called
now,
Tantric now. Yeah, exactly. But it was a couple of the members that
Yeah.
were formerly Days
Well,
of the New.
Days of the New is the Travis Meeks band.
Yeah.
Because it's just him on every album, no one else
Right,
from
yeah.
the previous album.
Yeah. No, the Travis Meeks that is in there actually is, we actually called them the Homewreckr dancers. We were playing this gig in Orofino, and this couple come onto the dance floor and start tearing up Western Swing to Motley Crue. And it was the coolest thing I ever saw in my life, because they were good dancers too.
And even past the
and they
point
were
that-
just
yeah.
they were just ripping it. And they became really good friends of ours, Travis and Heather.
He's actually a real dude.
Yeah. And so they're in our thank yous to all the various folks who've been supporting
That's
us,
actually-
helping us out along the way. 'cause
That was
they were
actually
awesome.
one thing. That was one thing that was very important about the EP for us, anyway. Because, like I said, there were a bunch of people who were like, "Why are you doing covers? Why don't you do originals?" So when we did this, there were a lot of people who were part of that original fan base and people who supported us, who had been waiting for this to happen. And it was very much, we have the Wreckin' Crew, and those people, there are a lot of them who are, very devoted and very supportive, and they had been through the whole thing. So as much as this was, when we did our EP release party, it was as much of a party for us, like releasing our EP, as it was for everyone else who had, helped us get there. And that was really where we came from when we started doing this. We were like, okay, outside of the fact that we want to do this, there are other people who want to hear this material too. And we had gotten a really good crowd response whenever we had played at our shows, because we started booking shows as Homewreckr, except instead of doing the shows and playing as an opening band and doing cover songs, we just started playing our original material. And the people who were showing up to come and see us loved those just as much as any of the covers we had done before. So we came to the conclusion, okay, this really needs to be recorded, because people are enjoying it, and that's something that we felt that we deserved as people, and that also that other people who wanted to hear the music on a CD also deserve to get.
Yeah.
So in the liner notes, there are a lot of people in there who just deserve thanks for being staunch supporters, or people who just helped get us there along the way.
And we actually did some crowdfunding for this. We launched.
Saw the Indiegogo, yeah.
Yeah, Indiegogo.
We launched an Indiegogo campaign for it, and we
Get
got
a piece of the wreckage.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. And it was fabulously successful. I mean, all of those people who had been, following us for years and who, as Alex had said, had sort of been waiting for this to happen, they really turned out and they supported us in in a really dramatic way. I mean, we set out trying to raise $5,000. We wound up raising $6,000. So we busted our goal by 20%, and that was really people just reaching out and wanting to be a part of this with us, because we've always felt like our fan base was, as you know, it comes full circle. We talk about the family band, we think about our fans as our family as well. These people have been at our shows for years, and they've always been really supportive for us, even down to helping to contribute money to make this possible. And the money that we raised went to some of the fantastic art that got put in there. We were able to work with illustrators from the comics industry, and the guy who did our cover art is actually a storyboard artist who works for, you know, Hollywood films. The guy is Kevy Metal. He's phenomenal.
Kevy Metal?
Kevy Metal, yeah.
Kevy Metal.
And you can find him on Facebook. He's really cool. And that whole, you know, the way that everything came together was so much a group effort, and everyone working together, just like the songs coming together were a collective effort of everybody in the band. This album was a collective effort of everybody in the band and our fans and our management and the studio, and, you know, we feel like we've created a bit of a community around this, and we want to extend that community. We want to bring that out to other places and keep building on it, because it's been great for us.
Here.
Exactly. It's been great for us, and it's been so much fun, and we want to keep growing that and sharing it.
So how did you guys get involved with the Rockathon? What was the process for that?
That one was actually when we were playing one of our shows in Lewiston. The promoter who put this on had actually brought Jody Gingerella. He had actually brought some bands down. We were one of the opening bands there. He's a really great guy. And after that gig, he enjoyed what we did, and he had contacted us. There was going to be a thing going on in Lewiston. It was the Rock the Valley Music Fest, and Sin Circus was also part of that show. And we played there, and
with
then after
Quiet Riot and Great White.
It was really awesome.
Cool. And yeah, it was Tracy Guns of LA Guns, Rudy Sarzo playing bass. I mean, that was actually a truly, truly phenomenal show.
Yeah, and so
it was really great.
And so through that, you know, Curtis again. Then shortly thereafter, Liz got hit up, and he was like, "Hey, there's this show going on. Would you like to be on? It would be an early spot." And we were like, "Yeah, totally. We've been meaning to get out toward the coast side anyway." So that's how we got out here.
That's how we got out here.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. So how could prospective fans find your music? What are all the ways they can either get it online or get it in the physical form with this CD with the awesome cover art and the liner notes?
Absolutely.
Which is what matters.
It is what matters.
Yeah.
We love getting those. Those we mostly sell at shows. You can purchase them through CD Baby, which is our primary outlet. So you can find us at CD Baby.
That's Homewreckr
with
no
Homewreckr with no last E. That's right, because those cost money.
Yeah.
And and so if you look us up on CD Baby, you can find us there. We do have samples of our music also available on Reverb Nation, and I think that's where you guys actually wound up finding us originally.
And then also Spotify has Homewreckr as well.
Yep.
You guys have a Facebook or a Twitter or anything?
Oh,
we
truly?
do have a Facebook. On Facebook, you can find us under Homewreckr. Again, just Homewreckr R without the last E.
Yeah.
Bandcamp too.
Yes, and Bandcamp.
And Bandcamp.
And all of that can be found on homewreckr.com.
Homewreckr.com again.
We do have our own URL at homewreckr.com. Remember, drop that last E. That's homewreckr.com. You can tell I've been saying that for years, right? And yeah, we've got links to all of that up on our webpage. So.
And the album is called The Reckoning.
The Reckoning
with no E. In the
with no E.
so you kept that going.
Yeah.
Cuts and vowels all around the place. It's good.
Yeah, it's a theme.
Yes.
Yep. We abhor vowels.
Cut the vowels in the title, so you don't have to cut anything in the music.
Exactly.
That's how you save money.
That's
it's
right.
good, smart.
It's music
budget
business.
management.
Yes.
You can use that in your next one.
Thanks.
Yes. And check them out. That was it was an absolutely fantastic show. I'm hoping I can be down in Olympia on the 26th. I'll look up the
That'd be
calendar.
awesome.
Oh,
We'd love
absolutely.
that.
We'd love to see anybody who happens to be hearing the show. Please come and check us out. We would be more than happy to see you there.
And next time you guys roll through town, we could set up so you guys could play in studio also.
Definitely.
Love to do that.
So we could
That'd
do
be awesome.
Get you
either
on
live electric or live acoustic.
Yeah,
either way,
totally.
but we can totally set it up so if you guys want to come up and play live.
That'd be
If
great.
we could convince
We
the
can-
post to do it, we could simulcast on my show. We'll just tell JP he's fired for a day.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll hit you up.
Yeah, right on.
Awesome.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Your
Well, thanks, Tom.
wife, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
She's got my card, so
Awesome.
you guys can get in touch with us.
And I'm going
That's
to
how
get cards
that's how
made
we'll
soon.
get your that's how we'll get your invitation to the wedding. So
Sweet.
Yeah.
we'll get you taken care of.
Yeah, you'll see it on the promotions desk. Well, Kevin, Alexander, Brett, and David, thank you.